All right, y'all. We get. Oh, it ain't ready. All right, y'all. We get praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. He gets up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. If I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, to whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Peace, brother, on my man. Revelation 1, chapter 4. Peace, each man. John, to the 7 assemblies which are in Asia, grace unto you, and shalom, from him which is and which was, and which is to come, from the 7 ruachs which are before his throne, and from Yahushua HaMashiach, the faithful witness, and the first begotten from the dead, the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our own sins in his own blood, and have made us kings and priests unto Elohim his Abba, to him esteem and dominion forever and ever. Amen. And behold, he come with clouds, and every eye shall see him. They which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. I'm the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is, which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. And John, whom also your brother and companion in tribulation, and the kingdom and patience of Yahushua HaMashiach, was in the isle that is called Patmos, for the word of Elohim and for the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. I was in the Ruach on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a great voice as a trumpet, saying, I'm the Aleph and the Tav, the first and the last. What you see, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 assemblies, which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, unto Smyrna, unto Pergamos, unto Thyatira, unto Sardis, unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. Come on with Isaiah 4:1.
And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by your name to take away our reproach.
Let us what?
Be called by your name to take away our reproach.
Go ahead.
In that day shall the branch of Yahuwah be beautiful and esteemed, and the fruit of the earth excellent and comely for them that are escaped the Yasharal. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remain in Jerusalem shall be called Kadash. Everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem.
That's good. Now, we were talking about this doctrine of Nicolaitans. I think we already established what that was, what went down with that, because of Balaam running behind the reward of divination and the outcome that happened to the people because of it. Now, we're not going to spend an inordinate time back on that, because we already read all that. But we do need to knock out some things in chapter 1 in the book of Revelation. So pick that up at verse 16, and then we'll get back to the things that's in Ephesus that we need to deal with. And if we need to go back and look at the letters to the Ephesians, we may not. The Lord knows.
And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword, and his countenance as the sun shine in his strength. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead, and he laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, fear not, I am the first and the last.
Now we got to establish that he's making a statement. The statement is in Isaiah 41:1.
Keep silence before me, O islands, and let the people renew strength. Let them come near, then let them speak. Let us come near together to judge.
You say let them come near, then let them do what?
Let them speak.
Go ahead and tell them what that renewing the strength is, man.
Renew is kalaf, to pass on, or a way to pass through, to pass by, to go through,
Slow,
to grow up, to change.
To pass through or to change, huh? Let the people
change for better.
Change for the better. Strength here, man.
That's koach, strength, power, might.
So let them get a change for the better in strength, huh? What you think that could be? We'll find out in a moment. Continue.
Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave the nations before him.
Pause. Who calls the righteous man from the where?
From the east.
And called him to his where?
To his foot.
What do you think that means, man? How would you explain that? Called him to his foot. Oh my God. Back. Mm-hmm.
Does that go in line with you said on the right hand side, make your enemies your footstool?
Yeah, you got to call him to his foot. Give me Isaiah. I mean, not Isaiah. Give me Genesis 49 and 8.
Mark.
Yeah, what you think this is, cuz? Genesis 49 and 8. If y'all can't sit down and behave properly, I'll make you stand up. So, choice is yours. Go ahead.
Yehuda, you are whom your brethren shall praise. Your hand shall be in the neck of your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down before you. Yehuda is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, you are gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Who shall what?
Who shall rouse him up?
Give him rouse again, just in case you forgot. You like Ronda Rousey?
That's kum, to rise, to stand. To rise up, to stand up.
Now, give me John chapter 10, verse 22. You can make it 17.
And therefore do my Abba love me, because I lay down my life that I might take it again. No man take it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again.
You have power to do what?
To lay it down.
And you have power to what?
Take it again.
John chapter 5, verse 25. What we're establishing is that it says that who raised up the righteous from the east. So the issue is not that who got raised, but who raised him. Because that's the question that's being asked. Who raised the righteous man? Go ahead.
Truly, truly, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Elohim, and they that hear shall live. For as the Abba have life in himself,
so does
have he given to the Son to have life in himself.
And what else?
Have given him authority to execute judgment also.
Why?
Because he is the Son of Man.
Nah, it said because the Father have life in himself, so who he telling you gonna raise him? But hold on, Romans 8 and 10.
And if Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Ruach is life because of righteousness.
It's life because of what?
Because of righteousness.
Okay.
But if the Ruach of him that raised up Yahushua from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Hamashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his Ruach that dwell in you.
What else?
Therefore, brethren, we are debtors, not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if you live after the flesh, you shall die.
You're going to die.
But if you through the Ruach do mortify the deeds of the body,
you're going to do what to the deeds of the body?
Mortify.
Do what to them?
Mortify. You shall live.
You shall what?
You shall live.
My God, today. No, this is what a lot of people don't realize, man. Shalom, Jay, Shalom, Eric. If you don't put that the deeds of the body to death, boy, you're going to keep living in them. He said the Ruach will put him to death. Why would the Ruach put him to death? Because the Ruach and the flesh cannot coexist in the same place at the same time. One has to prevail. Which one will you allow to prevail? It's all on you. You know, now I'm asking this question. Who raised up the righteous man from the east? What verse you think go along with that, man? What you think you could tie with that, man? Make niggas uncomfortable. This is in my brain because somebody tried to explain this the other day. It was terrible. It's reprehensible. Downright despicable. 3 wise men? No, I wouldn't go there with it. I wouldn't go there with it. Come on, man. Give me Job 5 and 16, man. Maybe this will help you out.
So the poor have hope, and iniquity stop her mouth.
Mhm.
Behold, happy is the man whom Elohim correct.
Happy is the man who Elohim correct.
Therefore despise not you the chastening of the Almighty.
Don't despise it.
For he makes sore and bind up, he wound, and his hands make whole.
What else he do?
He shall deliver you in 6 troubles.
And how many troubles?
6 troubles.
And
Yea, in 7, there shall no evil touch you.
so what verse you would put with that there? Huh? You ain't got nothing to say? He's
So, verse 19, that sounds like the just man policy.
Yeah, that's who raised up the righteous man. Remember, he said he the first and the last. We didn't get to the verse yet. I mean, who lived and died and lived forevermore, because that's who raised up the righteous man. Proverbs 24:16. Again, it was a dude trying to explain it. I done told this to my dog so many times. He still don't be catching on to it. I'm like, fall is not fall. The word fall in Proverbs 24:16 is not fall. That means to fall of a violent death, or to fall, to lie prostrate. Has nothing to do with sin. That is not what that Hebrew word means. It ain't even insinuating it. Proverbs 24:16.
For a just man falls 7 times and rise up again.
He do what again?
And rise up again.
Well, what's rise up right there? Is it qualm like you just seen in Genesis 49? Is it the same thing as you seen in Isaiah 41:2? Now I'm establishing all this because this is how 7 women come to one man and say, take away our reproach. Because he had to fall in order for the reproach to be removed. Tell him what the fall means, man.
That is to fall, to lie, to be cast down, to fail, to fall a violent death, to fall prostrate, to prostrate oneself before.
Nothing to do with sin. See, I'm leading something because it's Feast of Weeks, Feast of First Fruits, Pentecost. So that means the Ruach HaKadosh being given got to be tied in. And it's tied in when he say, hey, and called him to his foot. So we're going to take about 4 or 5 different things from this verse, and you can see that. So listen, right? So he rose again. So if he rose again, go ahead to Proverbs 6:16. This is a condensed version because I promise to you, I'm not finna go in this indefinitely. I done did it too many times. I'm not finna do it today.
These 6 things do you who will hate.
7.
An abomination unto him.
What they is?
A proud look.
Listen, we know they had a proud look. So every time they seen the man, you know what I'm saying? Tell them what proud means, man. We talking about the scribes and the Pharisees. This is how they handled them, man.
Proud is room to rise up, be high, to be lofty, be exalted.
They exalted themselves over him.
A lying tongue.
Hold on, a what?
A lying tongue.
So you know, I got you. So you know they went and brought false witnesses to lie on the man. What they told Pilate, if he wasn't a malefactor, we wouldn't have brought him. They lying. What's the next one?
Hands that shed innocent blood.
Well, we know Pilate's wife said, what has this man done? His wife came and said, leave this just man alone. What did the malefactor say? He said, we up here justly, but this man has done nothing wrong. What does your law say? Do not shed innocent blood. I will not justify the righteous over the wicked. What's the next one?
Say a heart that devised wicked imagination.
Well, we know they devised the wicked imaginations in John 11 and about 45 because he put together a plan to kill the man. What's the next one?
Feet that be swift and running to mischief.
Well, we know their feet were swift and running to mischief from putting together the plan in the first place. What's the next one?
A false witness that speak lies.
Well, we know they brought false witnesses in Matthew 26 and about 59, which goes, points you to what happened to Naboth, because that's what happened. You realize that Naboth fell into 7 times. He just didn't rise again. Go ahead.
And he that sowed discord among brethren.
And he that sowed discord among brethren. That's the same thing happened to Naboth. That's the same thing that people did to this man. So when these people talking about we fall down and we get that ain't the fall that he talking about. No, man, that man fell. And you can read Proverbs 26, where this man tell you, if a man speak fair, believe him not, there's 7 abominations in his heart. So who will raise up the righteous man from the east? How did this righteous man get raised from the east? Because he had to fall into 7 troubles for him to be raised. And in that raising, that's him going through I will try the heart and try the reins and give to every man according to his work shall be. And that work was everlasting life. Why? Because my flesh rests in hope, and you will not suffer your Kadash one to see corruption. And he was rewarded with the ransom and the riches of what his ransom required from the jump street. But hold on, I ain't done yet. So again, he said, who raised up the righteous man from the east? When you taking those 7 things, falling into that, right? Then he says, and call him to his foot. John 6:62. You're late. He had to go to the bathroom for 45 minutes. They can stay right down the street. You was in the bathroom. Blaming it on that baby. Y'all always blaming stuff on that baby. Stinky booty little girl, that was you. Go ahead, man.
And what if you shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before?
See where I ascend up where he was what?
Before.
16:7, John.
Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him unto you.
If I depart, I'll do what?
I will send him unto you.
Now you go to Psalms 101, right? And then I'm going to ask you a question. I said 101, it's 110. I'm sorry. Psalms 110 and 1.
Who said unto my Lord, sit you at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool.
Sit there what? At my what?
Right hand.
Until I make your enemies
your footstool.
Now, don't focus on the footstool part, because the footstool part ain't got nothing to do with calling to his foot. Do you understand what that means when you call somebody to your foot? All it means is you're calling them to your presence. So what is the significance, rhyme, and reason for Mashiach to be called to his foot?
Make intercession on behalf of the saints.
I'll allow it. You're going to need to be more specific. You said to make intercession for the saints. I'll help you out with something. We're moving kind of slow. Matthew 26. What it is? 25? 25 ain't what I want, but what I want somewhere in the near vicinity. This nigga want to walk around here with a Care Bear on the foot.
Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, you have said. And as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and baruch and brake and gave to the disciples and said, hold on,
Paul. I want to put Ecclesiastes 5:1 in there. Read that for
me. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim. Be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. For they consider not that they do evil.
I can see why you would say that, but not in this instance. Back to Matthew 26. This is something very deliberate and specific. You have to remember, this is the resurrection of the dead. I read that John 16:7 for a reason. He said, I must depart in order for the Ruach to come. That's why I say, hold on, there's more. Because he said, who will raise the righteous man? Who raised up the righteous man from the east and called him to his foot. For him to be called to his foot, something had to occur after that. But before we get to that after part, I need you to finish Matthew 26 so you can understand the rhyme, reason, and purpose of why he was called to his foot in the first place, an actual function and tangible operation.
Then as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and baruch and brake and gave to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body.
That's good. That ain't what we're looking for. Don't get focused on that. Come on.
And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave to them, saying, drink you all of it.
Don't get focused on that. Come on.
For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins.
Come on, what you need to be focused on coming up.
But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Abba's kingdom.
Now, why is he getting called to his foot? See, it's not just a part of that aspect. That's why I say the intercession, I'll allow it, but you could need to be more specific. Why can't he drink wine, Civic? No. because he's a high priest after the order of Melchizedek. He's about to go into the Holy of Holies. High priest cannot enter into the inner sanctum on any type of alcoholic beverages whatsoever. So when we come over here to Hebrews 7, give me verse 22.
By so much was Yahushua made a surety of a better testament, and they truly were many priests because they were not suffered to continue by reason of death. But this man, because he continue ever, have an unchangeable priesthood.
Unchangeable.
Wherefore he is able also to save them to the uttermost. They come unto Elohim by him, seeing he ever lived, to make intercession for them. For such a high priest became us, Kadash, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens, who need not daily, as those high priests, to offer up sacrifice, first for his own sins, and then for the people's. For this he did once, when he offered up himself. For the law make men high priests which have infirmity, but the word of the oath, which was since the law, make the Son who is consecrated forevermore.
So this is why he's getting called to his foot. Number one, because he got to present himself, but that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I'm talking about? But as he mentioned, the intercession. But I wanted the specificity of high priest, offering, bringing in of the blood, all the specifics that pertain to that. But hold on, there's more about raising up the man from the east and calling him to his foot. Isaiah 14 and 12. Go ahead, Stan.
I would say, would you be like Revelation 5, like nobody found ready to approach the Father?
Well, that's to open the seals of the book, so that's a different conversation.
You're dealing with it.
Because in this instance, we're not referring to the unsealing of the book.
Isaiah 14 and 12.
Yes. Isaiah 14 and 12. Come on, Sid.
Say, how are you fallen from Shamayim, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Are you cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? You have said in your heart, I will ascend into Shamayim.
You'll do what?
Ascend into Shamayim.
You'll do what?
Ascend into Shamayim.
Now, for him to be called unto his foot, he would have to ascend into Shamayim.
I will exalt my throne.
Hold on, because bro put this in there about drinking on the job. Leviticus 10 and 9. You can't be drinking on the job, man.
You said what, 10 and 9?
Leviticus. Hey, Doris, put the Gar's food to the side. I'm gonna take it with me when I go coffee. Right.
Say, do not drink wine, nor strong drink, you nor your sons with you, when you go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest you die. A statute forever.
Lest you what?
Lest you die.
Now, also, all the stuff we're dealing with is when he said, I am him who died and lived forevermore. But even still, he gonna keep the what you call them? The precepts, the commandments of the sanctuary. Right? Come on back. Isaiah 14. Hey, Emma, I tried to listen to it, Buddy. I forgot Buddy had the video last night about domestic violence. I couldn't listen to it past 5 minutes. He was getting on my nerves. I ain't gonna say he said nothing crazy, but he did say something stupid.
For you have said in your heart, I'll ascend into Shamayim. I'll exalt my throne above
I will ascend where?
Into Shamayim.
I will ascend where?
Into Shamayim.
The only way he can be called to his foot after he being raised is to go back into heaven, correct? Come on.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of
What else?
Elohim. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
What else?
And the sides of the
They
north.
right there. Go ahead.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
I will ascend above the what?
The heights of the clouds.
I will be like?
The Most High.
Go ahead.
Yet you shall be brought down to hell, to the sides of
Brought
the
down to where?
to hell.
So he's got to go to the grave before he can be raised to come back to his foot. Go ahead.
They shall see you. They that see
Hold on, but there's more.
shall narrowly look upon you.
No, stop. There's more. So before he can do all that, we need to do the framework because we're looking at the aspect of the giving of the Spirit. So 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 1 and 1. Then Acts 1. Tubby man, fix your face, boy. Second Kings chapter 2, verse 1. Stinks. You can't see?
And it came to pass when Yahuwah would take up Elijah into Shamayim by a whirlwind.
He'll take him up to where?
Shamayim by a whirlwind. That Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. And Elijah said unto Elisha, tarry here, I pray you, for Yahuwah has sent me to Bethel. And Elisha said unto him, as Yahuwah live and as your soul live, I will not leave you. So they went down to Bethel. And the sons of the prophets that were at Bethel came forth to Elisha and said unto him, know you that Yahuwah will take away your master from your head today? And he said, yea, I know. Hold you your shalom.
Come on.
Elijah said unto him, Elisha, tarry here, I pray you, for Yahuwah hath sent me to Jericho. He said, as Yahuwah live and as your soul live, I will not leave you. So they came to Jericho. And the sons of the prophets that were at Jericho came to Elisha and said unto him, know you that Yahuwah will take away your master from your head today?
Don't get lost in the weeds. The point that I want is coming. Come on.
And he answered, yea, I know. Hold your shalom. And Elijah said unto him, tarry, I pray you, here, for Yahuwah hath sent me to Jordan. And he said, as Yahuwah live and as your soul live, I will not leave you. And they two went
You ain't got
on.
to worry about it because of her.
And 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood to view afar off, and they too stood by Jordan. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters. They were divided here and there, so that they too went over on dry ground. And it came to pass when they were going over that Elijah
Here we go.
said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for you before I be taken away from you.
What he wanted.
And Elisha said, I pray you, let a double portion of your spirit be upon me.
Tell him what double portion is, man. You say you like a double? You like a whiskey double? Look at you. They say you like double the woman, so you need more cushion for the pushing.
Well, double is Shenayim, that's two. Double. And portion is pay.
Is what?
It's pay.
He want double word. Double mouth. Uh-oh. You said that out loud. These niggas nasty. Tell them what pay mean, man. Shalom, brother Ernest. Better turn it down. Come on.
We've got mouth of man as an organ of speech, of animals, the opening, orifice of a well or river, extremity, and end, a weight equal to 1/3 of a shekel.
So he want a double portion of his spirit. So what does that tell you? If it's portion and spirit, then it's pei ruach. What does that tell you? That means that the ruach is received by the word. That means pause, Romans 10 and 17. I think that go back to what we were talking about the other day when they say that although that believe on his name. So if to get a double portion of Elijah's ruach, the word has to be spoken. That means that's a word you have to believe. And we're going to see that because Elijah gives him a specific instruction that could only happen because he believed. No law involved. Oh, my God, today. That's some niggas ain't going to want to hear that. Go ahead.
So then faith come by hearing, and hearing by the word of Elohim.
Hearing come by what?
The word of Elohim.
And he asked for a double portion of that word. He asked for double word. Come on.
But I say, have they not heard? Yes, truly, their sound went into all the earth, and their words into the ends of the world. But I say, did not Yasharal know? First
That's good. That's good. Come on back to Kings. You see the beauty of that? All this stuff coming from not an entire verse, one sentence. And that's why I tell you to slow yourself down. Don't be looking for stuff and you be like you're trying to word match it. You know what I'm talking about? Look at what you're looking at. Take the understanding that you have and be deliberate and laser specific on what you're looking at to make sure you understand each line. Y'all be speeding. You know what I'm saying? You speeding because you in a rush to give a reply. Don't be in no rush to give a reply. Sit back and make sure that you understand every line and every sentence and every passage. You know what I'm talking about? Because you can jump over and leapfrog certain things from time to time in your haste to come to a conclusion. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And he said, you have asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if you see me when I'm taken from you, it shall be so unto you. But if not, it shall not be.
Now, the only way that can happen is if what? Elisha believes the word that Elijah has spoken. Continue.
And it came to pass as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind in the Shamaim. And Elisha saw, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Yasharal, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more. And he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces.
Mm-hmm.
He took up also the mantle of Elijah that fell on him, and went back and stood by the bank of Jordan. And he took the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and smote the waters, and said,
hold on. He took the what?
The mantle of Elijah.
Tell him what a mantle is. Because this is going to be important. Because we're not done.
That is at a wreath, glory, cloak, splendor, magnificence.
He took the glory or the magnificence of the garment that fell from Elijah and put it on. So go to Romans 13. Tell me what verse 11 say. Notice, I want you to pay attention. I notice he said he put on glory and splendor. Go ahead.
And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we were.
Why you always sleeping, Kalisha? Always asleep. Get your behind up. That's what he's telling you. Don't squint your eyes. Need to get up. Go ahead.
If the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. Let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk.
So let's put on the what?
The armor of light.
Now, clearly, if you put it on a garment of splendor and magnificence, it would be as light, now wouldn't it? Let's continue.
Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness.
Why you always rioting, Kalisha? Huh? Always outside at night. You know who said they come out at night? Civic ain't know that song. I was seeing if he was gonna pick up on that. That's what come up. The freak come out. Why you always outside at night time? What you trying to tell us? Obviously you is if you outside at night. It's only one, and that's me. So you could come and do what you want to do. You don't know. I'm sorry. You don't know that movie. I apologize. I just heard that in my head and just kept on going. That had nothing to do with what I was saying. Continue.
Say, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy. But put you on the Lord, Yahushua
Put you on who?
The Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach.
And you would make no what?
Provision for the flesh, to fulfill the lust thereof.
So if you would put on the glory and splendor of the Lord, how would you fulfill the lust thereof? Now, this is a reason why I came for this part to put it on, because he said the mantle dropped. Go back, 2 Kings now.
Verse 14.
2 Kings chapter 2, verse 14.
And he took the mantle of Elijah that fell from him.
What he did with it?
And smote the waters and said, where's Hu Elohim of Elijah? When he also had smitten the waters, they parted here and there, and Elisha went over. And when the sons of the prophets which were to view at Jericho saw him, they said,
what they said?
The spirit of Elijah do rest on Elisha.
The spirit of Elijah do rest on who?
Elisha.
Tell them what rest means. Boy.
Nuach, to rest. To rest, to settle down and remain.
To settle down and what?
And remain.
To settle down and what?
To remain.
This is showing you how later how the Ruach HaKodesh would be a permanent indwelling, because it said it settled down and remained. So though it was Elisha, they saw the power and spirit of somebody else resting on him, which is showing you how the power of Mashiach would rest upon you. So though they saw you, they see the spirit of he who dwell in you. If that makes sense. But we're not done yet. Yeah, but I ain't really going that route because we done did it so many times. But it is apropos. What he's referencing is what's in Psalm 68. He took captivity captive. He ascended on high and took captivity captive and gave and received gifts. I heard somebody trying to explain that it was terrible. talking about he ain't took captivity yet. I said, oh boy, he don't need to be teaching no word. He thought captivity was talking about being in bondage to men. He didn't know what the captivity was. Hell, I done mentioned it, Psalm 68 and 18, so you can tell him what the captivity is. I forgot he said it out loud. It was terrible though. You know what I'm saying? There'd be a lot of terrible things out here. I just don't say nothing.
I missed it. What that was?
Psalm 68 and 18. Come on, Sid.
You have ascended on high.
You've done what?
Ascended on high.
Tell him what ascended is so there is no mistake.
That is Allah, to go up,
That's
ascend, to climb.
He climbing on high. Tell him what on high is so there's no mistake.
Marom, height, elevation, elevated place, a high place.
So he's going to a high place. So that means he's getting called to his foot. Go ahead.
You have led captivity captive.
Tell him what captivity is.
That's Shabbat, to take captive, to lead captive, to be taken captive, to bring away, to carry away, to lead away.
So he took captivity captive. What had man captive? He that commits sin is the servant of sin. Sin had you captive. So he took sin captive. Well, he took captivity captive. What is captive? Probably the same word.
That one is Shabbat, that's captivity, that's captives, that's prisoners. You got to take away. That was taken.
So he's taken that which has you captive away and received
Gifts for men.
For the rebellious,
also,
that Yahuwah Elohim
might dwell among you.
Oh my God, today. Dwell, please.
Shakan, to settle down,
To remain.
To tabernacle.
To tabernacle. To what?
Tabernacle.
My God, today. So you know what we got to do with that? You know what we got to do with that? 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 10.
As sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. As poor, yet making many rich.
Get to verse 14. I ain't got time. 2 Corinthians 6 and 14.
Be you not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness?
Come on, because that ain't what we here for.
What concord have a Mashak with Belial? Or what part have he that believe with an infidel?
Come on, that ain't what we here for.
What agreement have the temple of Elohim with idols? For you are the temple of the living Elohim. As Elohim have said, I will dwell in them.
And I will.
Walk in them.
And I will.
Be their Elohim.
And they will.
Be my people.
Ain't that what he said in the law? That he wanted to dwell with you? So when you see him tell you that Yahuwah might dwell, that he might tabernacle, this is how you know that the spirit before Mashiach was not a permanent indwelling, because it is never referred to in such a fashion. This is why when people say, oh man, you could get the spirit and lose it, nigga, how? Nigga, how? Once he dwell with you, he dwelling with you. Hold on, I'll give you another one. We ain't done yet. John 14 and 21. Oh man, praise be to Yahuwah, man. They're easy work. Not easy work as forth as you thinking, if I say that, they're cutting somebody's doctrine up, so you can plainly understand what his explicit and specific will was on this particular day, 2,000 years ago, when the Ruach HaKadosh was given, so that your Elohim might dwell amongst you, so that he could literally nuwak, and that you could have his dwelling, so that he could tabernacle with you. That's the point. You know what I'm talking about? Once you see that and understand that, then it hit different. Because now his character and his power and his mercies are presently with you and can be manifested clearly and seen to all those who come across you. Continue.
So he that have my commandments and keep them, he it is that love me. And he that love me shall be loved of my Abba. And I will love him and will manifest myself to him.
He'll do what?
Manifest myself to him.
Ain't that's what you just seen with Elijah and Elisha? Now I'm going to show myself to him. What happens after that?
Judas said unto him, not Iscariot, Lord, how is it that you will manifest yourself unto us and not unto the world?
Come on.
Yahushua answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words.
What else?
And my Abba will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him.
Come on. Make our what with him?
Our abode with him.
If you make an abode with somebody, what you doing with him, Silly? You dwelling with him. Come on.
He that loved me not, keep not my sayings, and the word which you hear is not mine, but
It ain't
the
mine.
Abba's which sent me.
What else?
These things have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you.
What
But
else?
the Comforter, the Ruach HaKadosh,
The what?
the Ruach HaKadosh,
That.
the Abba will send in my name.
What he gonna do?
He shall teach you all things. And
You see how that go back to he say he called him to his foot. He said it's expedient for you that I depart, or the Comforter won't come. If I don't leave, God can't dwell with you. If I don't leave, captivity don't get taken captive. You don't get gifts from men that Yahuwah Elohim might dwell amongst you. This is what he's talking about, who have raised a righteous man from the east and called him to his foot. That's why you have to stand back and take your time and look at that. Because that's a lot contained in one sentence. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. Shalom I leave with you.
That's good. And that line ain't even why we came to Isaiah 41. Where you was at before that?
Psalm 68. Good.
We good.
Kings.
The 2 Kings is done. Now, back to Isaiah 41 and 2.
Yeah, let it breathe for a minute without a lot.
I see. You wrote down a lot.
Yeah, shoot.
I'm just writing the books, man.
No, he is. I mean, you could get it. You could get it. You could get it old school, or you could get it new school. I could give you some. What you call that, John? I can give you an interlude, or you can get a whole bunch of them like this here, man. I don't even use no banana clips. It's just rapid fire, man. You ever seen a military tank gun? Big rounds.
50 cal, ain't it?
You know what I'm saying? They don't never stop, man. Knock your whole chest out. Take your chest and put it in his lap. Tell him hold it. Go ahead.
So keep silence before me, O islands, and let the people renew
Verse
strength.
2. Right on to the point.
Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave
See?
the nations before him.
Now we see the gave the nations because he said, "Ask of me, and I will give you the heathen for your inheritance." And in Revelation 2 and 27, he told he do the same thing for you. But continue.
And made him rule over kings.
Made him rule over what?
Over kings.
Revelation 11 and 14. Who else ruled over kings? David. That's why he say he's the prince of the kings of the earth. He the chief of all kings. That's why he say he's the king of kings, if you would. 11 and 14, Revelation.
The second woe was past. Behold, the third woe come quickly. And the seventh Malachim sounded. And there were great voices and Shamaim saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord.
They come to kingdoms of who?
Of our Lord.
What else?
Of Mashiach. He shall reign forever and ever.
Uh-oh.
The 24 elders which sat before
That's
Elohim.
good. I just wanted you to see how he made them rule over kings. And then he said he gave, this is Isaiah 41 and 2. He said he gave them as what?
Gave them as dust to his sword.
And driven.
Stubble to his bow.
Well, you know that he's coming to judge and make war. And the slain of Yahuwah are going to be many in that day. Verse 3, Isaiah 41. And he pursued
them and passed safely by the way that he had not gone with his feet.
That he had not gone with his what?
With his feet.
Now, why did he say, what do you think this means when he say he ain't gone this way with his feet? Because he talking about killing some people, so I'm going to go and show you some niggas dying. Y'all like to see niggas die, don't you? I hope not. That would be unfortunate. The Epistle of Jude, verse 10.
But these speak evil of those things which they know not, but what they know naturally as brute beasts, and those things they corrupt themselves. Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain and ran greedily after the error of
We'll
Balaam
get to it, man. Just keep on
for
going.
reward and perished in the gainsaying of Korah.
Mhm.
These are sponsoring your feasts of charity, when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds they are without water, carried about of winds.
That's unfortunate.
Trees whose fruit withered, without fruit, twice dead, plucked
Twice
up by the
dead.
roots. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame. Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam.
Oh, the Enoch what?
The seventh from Adam.
Also,
Prophesied of these saying,
what he said?
behold, the Lord come with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed,
And all
their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him.
You've been out here running your gator. Come over here to Isaiah 63 and 1.
Who is this that come from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah, that is esteemed in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength? I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore are you red in your apparel, and your garments like him that tread in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury. Their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
Now I ask you this question. He says that, by the way, he had not gone with his feet. What verse would you point to, and you would say this is why he said he hasn't gone by his feet? Oh, we ain't got time. Revelation 19:10. Revelation 19:10.
Saying, I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see not, I am your fellow servant and of your brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Elohim, for the testimony of Yahushua is the rock of prophecy.
What up?
And I saw Shamaim open, and behold, a white horse. He that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he do judge and make war. His eyes is a flame of fire, and on his head many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And then his name is called the Word of Allah.
So why they ain't going on their feet, Sibby?
They on horses.
There he is. You like horses, don't you? I seen a dude talking about, all right, Megan the male horse. And nigga said, I never understood why they called them stallions. I'm like, nigga, that's what niggas in the South say. It still don't make no sense. Well, who gives a damn what makes sense to you? You think some regular people walk around telling me, you know a stallion's a male horse, and they just saying that's a big, fine woman. You know what I'm saying? That's all nigga really trying to say. That's a big, fine, big, tall woman. You know what I'm saying? Niggas see big, tall woman. I guess they visualize a male horse's butt.
Yeah, I never looked it up. I ain't know it's a man.
Yeah, a stallion is a male horse. You ain't never heard that? The Italian stallion with Rocky?
I always thought it was true.
Nah, stallion, he knock him down. You know what I'm saying?
I want to reverse it.
Yeah, stallion knock him down.
I don't understand.
I don't know what you call a female horse. You say who that nigga is on that nab? Go ahead. Isaiah 41:4.
Who have wrought and done, calling the generations from the beginning.
Calling the generations from the what?
Beginning.
I.
Yahuwah the first and with the last. I am he.
Tell them what first and last mean. Yeah, Buddy was offended by that. I'm like, bro, I've been hearing dudes call a woman a stallion since before I could remember.
First is Rishon, first, primary, former. First, chief. And last is Akaron, behind.
I thought it was a mare, but I wasn't sure.
Subsequent, behind the hindermost, western location.
So what you think this relates to when he say he the first and the last? He the chief, but then he that which has come after. I'll allow it, but I got one better for you. Come over here to John. John chapter 1. Look at that, man. There it is. 1 and 19. That's still funny. Who that nigga is on that nab? Yeah, Megan the mayor don't sound. Yeah, I mean that's a southern saying. I don't think nobody, maybe on the West Coast, they might do it in day-to-day speech. You know what I'm saying? But that's probably just down here where he be like, boy, maybe it's a stallion. The whole time you is visualizing a male horse's legs and behind. But I would say that because the average person does not know the difference between a male and female horse. You know what I'm saying? You ain't all in between their legs trying to look at their genitalia. So there's that.
But now once you know, bro.
I mean, I haven't used the terminology stallion in Years. Probably not since my early 20s. You know what I'm talking
Let's
about?
call them meat wagons now.
Meat wagon is wild.
That is crazy.
Meat wagon is insane. I don't even know. You're going to be like, boy, baby got a meat wagon on her. No, that don't sound right. Lord,
That's too diverse.
Yeah.
that's disturbing.
Come on.
Saying this is the record of John when the Yahudim sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and denied not, but confessed, "I am not the Hamashiach." And they asked him and said, "What are you then? Are you Elijah?" And he said, "I am not. Are
I'm
you
not."
that prophet?" And he answered, "No." Then said they unto him, "Who are you that we may give an answer to them that sent us? What say you of yourself?" Said, "I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness, making straight the way of the Lord, as said the prophet Isaiah."
Mm-hmm.
And they which were sent were of the Pharisees. And they asked him and said unto him, "Why baptize you then, if you be not that Hamashiach, nor Elijah, neither that prophet?" John answered, saying, "I baptize with water, but there stand among you whom you know not. He it is who's coming after me is preferred before me. Whose
He
shoes
that's coming after me is preferred what?
before me.
Why?
Whose shoes latchet I am not worthy to unloose."
Why?
These things were done in Beth Bar beyond Jordan, where John was
Notice he
baptized.
said he's preferred before me because he is before me, but he's coming after. See, in this instance, whether you realize it or not, John the Baptist is telling you that Yahushua is the peace, brother Joseph, is the first and the last, because he's the chief, but yet he's on the latter end. Now, when you look at author and finisher of your faith, if I remember correctly, complete finisher means completer of the faith, but we're gonna look at it. Hebrew 12:1. You can tell me.
Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which do so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the stake, despising the shame, and is sat down at the right hand of the throne of Elohim.
Give me author and finisher, man.
Author is Archegos, the chief leader, prince.
Well, that's the same thing you seen with first.
And finisher is Teliotes, a perfecter.
Coming to Isaiah 44:1.
Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Yasharal, whom I have chosen,
Thus saith Yahuwah,
that made you and formed you from the womb,
which will
help you,
fear not,
O Jacob, my servant,
you
Yasharon,
whom
I have chosen,
for I will pour water
upon him that is thirsty,
and floods.
upon the dry ground,
I'll pour my ruach
upon your seed,
and my blessing.
upon your offspring.
Listen, right? It's not seeds of many, but seeds of one. So he said he pouring that seed or that water on those who are born of a Mashiach. Let's continue.
And they shall spring as among the grass, as willows by the water courses.
One shall say,
I am Yahuwah's,
another shall say,
by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto Yahuwah, and surname by the name of Yasharal.
Now we didn't talk about it plenty of time. People think this means you're supposed to give yourself the name Israel. It don't. Tell them what a surname is, man.
That's kana, to title, surname, to be surnamed, to give an epithet or cognomen, give a flattering title, to call by name, give a title, to be titled.
To call by what? See, they think to be called by name means naming yourself Israel. That ain't what that means, man. So listen, go back to subscribe. Unsubscribe. That's what they told you to do. And tell them what that means. Before you unsubscribe, sucker, let me tell you this.
That's kathav, to write.
That means to write. So he says there's one that will write with his hand unto Yahuwah. Well, who is he that wrote unto his hand to Yahuwah? Luke 24 and 39. Luke 24 and
He
39.
said, "Behold, my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see, for Ruach have not flesh and bones, as you see me have."
John 20 and 24.
Said, but Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus, was not with them when Yahushua came. The other disciples therefore said unto him, We have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, Except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe. And after 8 days again, his disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Then came Yahushua, doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, Shalom unto you. Then said he to Thomas, Reach here your finger. Behold my hands. Reach here your hand, and thrust it into my side. And be not faithless, but believing. And Thomas answered and said unto him, My Lord and my Elohim. Yahushua said unto him, Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. Fruit are they that have not seen and have believed.
So listen, right? That's the one who will write in his hand unto Yahuwah. But to be called by the name of Yasharal, that goes back to what we were talking about the other day. And the whole family in heaven and earth shall be called by his name. Isaiah 44 and 6.
Thus saith Yahuwah, the king of Yasharal, and his redeemer, Yahuwah of hosts. I am the first, I am the last, and besides me, no Elohim.
Tell him what first and last is one more time.
First is Rishon, first, primary, former, chief.
That's first, that's primary. Pause. Colossians chapter 1, verse 13. Colossians chapter 1, verse 13.
Who have delivered us from the power of darkness and have translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son,
That's right.
whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible Elohim, the firstborn of every creature. For by him were all things created that are in Shamahim, that are in earth, visible and invisible. Whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. He is the head of the body, the assembly, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the preeminence.
He might have the what?
Preeminence.
Tell him what preeminence mean, man. Boy, you too big to be acting like that, boy.
Profuel, that is to be first, to hold the first place.
To
be first, and rank or influence.
Ain't that's what first meant to? Chief first? Tell him what last mean, man.
Don't hurt him, blood, man.
And that nigga ain't gonna do that. Man, you can't be worried about no nigga who got on Levi shorts, man, that ain't iron.
Last is Akaron, behind, following, subsequent, western.
That boy say subsequent. It's subsequent.
Let the man live.
You should have known that. You the teacher. She's like, I know.
I know.
Subsequent. She gonna be like this here. I'll go back and spell it again. Peace, you had to die, man. Come on. He said, I got my diploma. Bump you niggas and my degree. Y'all can go to hell.
I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
So you ain't gotta wish it. Everybody going. Everybody going to the grave. Go ahead. What's that definition again? See, the first time you said it, I thought I was tripping. Said it again. I said, "Oh, he misspoke." Give him that definition to last, because we going somewhere with it.
And that's behind, following, subsequent, western, hindermost. The latter.
The latter part. Ecclesiastes chapter 2. I'll tell you what verse I want in just a second. You ain't get no straightening. 2 and 12. Well, look at you and say, shoot, nigga. I
just get straightened by straightening.
And I mean, went back there and looked and said, come on, son. You give your mama a hard time. They said that's not straight. Then that's a negotiation.
No, I think get understanding.
Hey man, I thought you didn't negotiate with terrorists. Ecclesiastes 2:12.
And I turn myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly. For what can the man do that come after the king?
What can the man do that come after
The king,
even that
which have been already done.
that which have already been done? Go ahead, tell him after, man. It's probably the same words. Shoot, I don't know.
After his part, after the following part, the hinder afterwards.
Now give him last out of Isaiah 44:6 one more time.
So I can roam behind, following, subsequent, western, the latter.
The latter. He tell you he the chief and that. Remember, because he said he that came before me, come after me is preferred before me because he is before me. And that's what John said. So listen, right? So when he's coming after, what is he coming after to do? Just on general principle, just because. Daniel 9:24. This is what he coming to do. But then on top of that, he coming to bring that indwelling spirit. Then we go to Acts 1:1. Because that's where we're supposed to win after 2 Kings, but we ain't got that yet.
70 weeks are determined upon your people and upon your Kadash city to finish the transgression, to make an end of sins.
To make an end of what?
An end of sins.
That's not what we're here for in this verse, though.
To make reconciliation for iniquity.
That ain't what we're here for in this verse, though.
To bring in everlasting righteousness.
That's what we're here for, this verse. Everlasting what?
Righteousness.
And to anoint.
To seal up the vision and prophecy. To anoint the most Kadash.
To bring in everlasting righteousness. Because if it's everlasting, it's because of the permanent indwelling of the righteousness of faith, which is the Ruach HaKadosh, is the physical manifestation of such. Is that not right? Acts 1:1. You see that, Silver Man? That's 25 years in the game. You don't know nothing about that. That's from 1995.
25 years without a championship.
Shoot. Ain't too many teams got championship in their first 25 years. Name me one.
I'm a New England guy.
Nigga, New England had been around since the 60s before they won a championship. So I don't even know why you said such a thing. Took them by damn near 50 years. Do you shoot, nigga? The first Super Bowl I remember seeing, boy, they got a mud hole stomped in them, man. Them boys lost 46-10, man. Then they turned around and lost again 11 years later. I don't even know why you did that shit.
They still got some.
You know what I'm saying?
They got them some.
Got him something as wild.
Politics, brother. Politics.
Cause you let everybody in Jacksonville tell that Miles Jack wasn't down.
They robbed us, man. They robbed us. It was on that one.
They changed their rules behind that too. They said don't blow the whistle, just let them play it out. You can tell that nigga was mad too. I ain't gonna lie. Once that call didn't go that way, I said, yeah, they finna lose, boy. The one thing about Thomas Patrick Brady, boy, he finna come get that. He came and got that. That's the second time we lost up there in the AFC Championship game. The other time, y'all niggas were too young to me. You looking crazy, shoot, nigga. You might have not even been born. I don't know. You might have been, man. Around here doing all on the couch. It was 1996. They said I went and got me some bricks. Shalom, Sister Kelly. You don't know about that. I said, pick them 12 white folks, niggas. Take that on the trial. Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Say the former treaties have I made, O Theophilus, of all that Yahushua began both to do and teach, until the day in which he was taken up. After that, he gave through the Ruach HaKadosh, had given commandments unto the apostles of whom he had chosen, to whom also he showed himself alive after his passion, by many infallible proofs, being seen of them 40 days, speaking of the things pertaining to the kingdom of Elohim, being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Abba, which saith he, you have heard of me. For John truly baptized with water, But you shall be baptized with the Ruach HaKodesh not many days hence.
Mm-hmm.
When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, will you at this time restore again the kingdom to Yasharal? He said unto them, It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Abba hath put in his own power.
Mm-hmm.
But you shall receive power. After that, the Ruach HaKodesh shall come upon you. You shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and all Judea and Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward Shamaim as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, You men of Galilee, why stand you gazing up into Shamaim? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into Shamaim, shall so come in like manner as you have seen
Now,
him
of
go
course,
into
they saw
Shamaim.
him taken up and they received a what? A double portion, right? What was portion was, man? What that word was? See, we done forgot.
Forgot the word.
It was pay. You know what I'm saying? So the mouth,
Pay Ruach.
pay ruach, or the breath of the mouth. You know what I'm talking about? That which is received by the word, that which is received by faith. So let's return back to Revelation 1, because everything we were talking about just was established that when he say he the first and the last, what that means, because a lot of people feel like, he's saying that, and that don't mean this. Hell, they can't tell you what the first and the last mean, they damn self. Revelation 1 and 17.
And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead, and he laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, Fear not, I am the first and the last. I am he that lived and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore.
Paul, so we've already established that. By everything we looked at, that he was he that lived and was dead, and now he lived forevermore. Why? Because that permanent indwelling. Continue.
He had the keys of hell and of death.
So if he got the keys to hell and death, what that mean he can do with hell and death?
Shut it off.
Not only just that, then he can lock, he can open it up, he can shut it up. Go ahead, man.
Write these things which you have seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter. The mystery of the 7 stars which you saw in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the Malachim, are the 7 assemblies, and the 7 candlesticks which you saw are the 7 assemblies.
Now we right back to Ephesus. Revelation 2 and 1 again.
Unto the Malachim of the assembly of Ephesus write, These things saith he that hold the 7 stars in his right hand, who walk in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. I know your works and your labor and your patience, and how you cannot bear them which are evil. You have tried them which say they are apostles and are not.
Pause. Let's look at you can't bear them that are evil. Psalms 1 and 1. You don't know what bread that is, Timmy. What bread that is, man? He can't beat the play. I don't want to see if he know the skyline. He don't want to look. What bread that is?
That look like it's Matthews.
Damn. I was the wrong answer. Look, Johnny, what bread that is?
Like Main Street.
That boy been here for a little bit. That what it was. You ain't gonna peep that one there because they don't use the Matthews bread for the skyline. Main Street bread downtown. It ain't nowhere near that damn building they got behind it. So that's the no, I take that back. That old Wells Fargo building is right.
Yeah.
Take that back. It's just you don't pay it no mind because don't nobody be in there.
That's Wells Fargo down.
Shoot, they had to, man. You know, that used to be the Independent Life building. That joint that had so many. It was the Independent Life, the Wells Fargo.
It was Modus. It was Modus. I love
Yeah,
Modus.
so you tell that part. I'm
Like
like
Modus.
Modus.
What?
I missed that season.
Right. He did miss that.
I don't recall. Go ahead, man.
Said Baruch is the man that walked not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of Yahuwah, and in his law do we meditate day and night.
Pause. You see how that is when he say, I know your works and your labor, you can't bear them that are evil? Because you bless. Hold on, let's take it even further. Psalms 101 and 1. We're just giving the scriptural reference of what he's praising this congregation for. We already talked about, how they hated the doctrine of the Nicolaitans. Because that's Pergamos who had the doctrine of the Nicolaitans. But let's continue.
I will sing of mercy and judgment unto you. O Yahuwah will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Or when will you come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart.
Perfect heart.
I will set no wicked thing before my eyes.
So it's literally say, I know your works and your labor.
Hate the work of them that turn aside.
You can't bear them that are evil.
It shall not cleave to me.
They won't stick to me.
A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person.
I won't even experience a wicked man.
Whoso privily slander his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that have a high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. My eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walk in a perfect way, he shall serve me.
He that walk in a what?
A perfect way.
He that walk in a what?
A perfect way.
What he gonna do?
He shall serve me.
That's right.
He that work deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that tell lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off the wicked doers from the city of Yahuwah.
That's it. Revelation 2 and 2. Tubby man.
I know your works and your labor and your patience, and how you can't bear them which are evil, and you have tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and have found them liars.
Pause. How do you try them that are apostles and are not? 1 John 4 and 1. This is how you try them. After 1 John 4 and 1, John 7 and 14.
Beloved, believe not every ruach, but try the ruachs whether they are of Elohim, because many false prophets are going out into the world. Hereby know you the ruach of Elohim. Every ruach that confess that Yahushua HaMashiach is come in the flesh is of Elohim. And every ruach that confess not that Yahushua HaMashiach is come in the flesh is not of Elohim. And this is that of anti-Mashiach, whereof you have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world.
Anybody that's an apostle is an ambassador or an emissary, a representative of the Lord. So therefore they will preach the Lord. So one of the ways to be able to find that if one claims he's an apostle, if he don't have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach from Genesis to Malachi, he ain't no apostle. That's before you even try to figure out how he got that testimony. The fact that he don't have it is clear evidence and proof enough he ain't one. But what I told you to get?
John
7 and 14.
Now about the midst of the feast, Yahushua went up into the temple and taught, and the Yahudim marveled, saying, How know this man letters, having never learned?
Having never learned.
Yahushua answered them and said, My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of Elohim or I speak of myself. He that speak of himself seek his own esteem. He that seek his esteem that sent me, the same.
Now notice he said, how does man know letters having never learned? Because God taught him. There's a lot of people be like, oh, I got a revelation. Man, look here, man. That's a dangerous road. You just got to make sure that's what it is. Now, we ain't trying to give him a bad legacy, man. That's how people feel in the city area for real, though. Every time you got people who randomly post in the city on Facebook from time to time, and my house jack still wasn't down. But I took almost 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Niggas still randomly post that. He wasn't down. You know, the reality is, could they have cheated just because they didn't want Jacksonville in the Super Bowl? Who knows? It's business. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't emotionally invested. I mean, what's the most I could have did? Bought a championship hat.
You went to a parade.
I ain't going to no goddamn parade.
You ain't going to the parade. You got to go to the parade.
All right. Play with it if you want. Go to the parade for what? To celebrate some niggas I don't know?
Got the jersey on.
Yeah, but I would wear that. Y'all ready for the parade?
You got to represent.
To represent, I got jerseys from a lot of teams, schools, leagues, and all. I don't give a damn. What that mean to me?
Be invested.
No, I'm not. Nigga, I don't even want to go to the stadium with 70,000 niggas in it to watch the game. You think I want to go downtown with a whole bunch of niggas in the middle of the street cheering that niggas?
Congratulations. Celebration.
No, I mean, that's all it is. The other day, it's going to be the same hat, and all they're going to put on the side is Super Bowl champion. I I got a lot of Super Bowl champions. I got the Eagles one, Chiefs one, Seahawks one, Bucks one. I grew up watching every team in football. What are you talking about?
Title time is always on the move.
I got NBA championship. I don't give a damn. It's just a championship side patch hat. I didn't get the Warriors one because they didn't make one. They made snapbacks. You know, I'll let you have that. You like the snapback. The fact you like the snapback is appalling and disturbing. You walk right into that. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, because we would have played the Eagles in that Super Bowl. We probably would have lost.
That's the year with Nick Foles, man.
Yeah, we probably would have lost. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't wear soccer jerseys because I don't like soccer. And I don't wear hockey jerseys because it's hot as hell.
You like hockey though?
They straight. They're too hot for that, though. Them things long sleeve, and they're not breathable. You know what I'm saying? They more so to actually retain heat because them boys in a cold environment. You know what I'm saying? Them things do not work good with Florida humidity. I can tell you that. My cousin had one. I wore that junk. Naisha had one. She had Tampa Bay Lightning. It's about in the 90s. I said, yeah, I can't do this. It's too hot. Yeah, it's too hot. You know what I'm saying? And now, shoot, Fanatics make the NHL jersey, boy, they tax it. They want 400 plus. That's a no. You know what I'm saying? Even when you got to see Fanatics do periodically 25, 30, 40% off. That's when you buy you one if you're going to buy you one. Or you can gamble on them and just win fan cash and let them pay for it. That's what I do. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have now. Get on there, make your picks. You know what I'm talking about? Let them pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Why not? It's free. Don't cost you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Niggas blew my ticket last night, though. I damn sure didn't think OKC was going to get whooped like that. Them niggas definitely didn't cover. I ain't even have to get on ESPN to see if they covered. I just checked my picks and see, an X. So, well, we won't win no money on this one. Yeah, because Fanatics ain't giving you no bread. You ain't cashing out. You get you some fan cash. You know what I'm saying? You can buy you something.
Get you something nice.
Get you something nice. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get you something nice, bro.
We ain't taking this with you.
They ain't giving you no cash. They got one thing they give you cash for. Ain't nobody ever gonna win. It's called Perfect Nine. A junk like tic-tac-toe. And you gotta pick a player and what stats you think he gonna get for that game. Well, they be putting superhuman games on that for niggas, man. They might put Baker Mayfield 350 plus yards. Come on, bro. 350? Derrick Henry 150 yards. Like, these is career games. Not gonna win that. You gotta try to find a player you with the lowest possible and just pick him. Yeah, they ain't gonna have him, man. That junk rigged. They don't want it because it's $500,000. They're like, yeah, we're gonna let you niggas get the money. No, sir. Come on.
He that speaketh of himself seek his own esteem, but he that seeketh his esteem that sent him, the same is true. No unrighteousness is in him.
So let's show you how you be able to see if one's a. Well, that's a little different. We don't want to go that route. Might as well. Exodus 4, man. 4 and 9. Yeah, Fanatic taxing, man. Hockey jerseys ain't used to be no $400. These used to be $200. Fanatics want $334, $350. Only jersey that ain't really go up was NBA. They $200. Back in the day, they about $150, $125. That's not bad in 20-year span not to go up like that. I guess the NFL jerseys ain't that bad. When I bought that Vic 20 some odd years ago, he was like $200.
Yeah, like 225, something like that.
About $200. Oh, well, shoot, I could have told you that, bro. You ain't gonna see no young people playing golf. You say after church he went to play golf. He ain't see no young people. You ain't gonna see no young people playing golf.
Only older people. Daddy teaching my son.
You know, you got Blue Cypress. You go out there, man, get you on the back nine.
I'm a golfer too.
Yeah,
Brother like that.
There's a lot of brothers play golf. It's just they not young. Go ahead.
Saying that shall come to pass that if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto your voice, that you shall take of the water of the river, pour it out upon the dry land, the water which you take out of the river shall become blood upon the dry. Moses said unto Yahuwah, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since you have spoken unto your servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. Yahuwah said unto him, Who have made man's mouth? Who make the dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I Yahuwah?
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore go, and I will be with your mouth, and teach you what you shall say.
He'll teach you what?
What you shall say.
That's how you know an apostle is one who God taught himself. Go ahead.
And he said, O my Lord, send, I pray you, by the hand of him you will send.
That's good. That's good. 2 and 3, Revelation.
And have borne and have patience, and for my name's sake have labored and have not fainted. Nevertheless, I have against you because you have left your first love.
Your first love.
Remember therefore from whence you are fallen, and repent and do the first works, or else I will come unto you quickly and remove your candlestick out of
You
its
know,
place.
we talked about that with the 10 virgins in Matthew 25. Come on.
But this you have, that you hate the deeds of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate.
He that have a what?
That have an ear, let him hear what the Ruach say unto the assembly.
To him.
That overcome will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of Elohim.
Tell him what overcome mean, man.
How to conquer, carry off the victory, to come off victorious.
So if you get victorious, you would get the right to the tree of life. And what would happen? Genesis 3 and 22.
And Yahuwah Elohim said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now lest he put forth his hand and take also the tree of life and eat and live forever.
Keep on going.
Therefore, Yahuwah Elohim sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
That's right. So now that flaming sword to the tree of life has been removed. Proverbs 13 and 12. You can make it 9. Shoot. Tell me what 8 say.
The ransom of a man's life is riches, but the poor hear not rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoice, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out.
Put him out.
Only by pride come contention, but with the well advised is wisdom.
Paul, that mean, man, you always see somebody always contentious all the time. I guess you know what that's the birth. What's birthing that city? What he said?
Only by pride.
Only by
pride
come
contention.
So if somebody tell them what contentious is, man. Always strife filled, always arguing, always in conflict. That's your pride, old square head looking boy.
Contention is matzah, strife, contention, a quarrel, a debate.
Always quarreling. You quarrelsome? Go ahead.
Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gather by labor shall increase. Hope deferred make the heart sick.
Hope deferred make the heart sick.
But when the desire come, a tree of life.
So when you overcome now, he's promising them that they will have right to the tree of life. Well, what does the right to the tree of life allow to happen? Romans chapter 8, verse 1. This is what happened.
Therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Hamashiach Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Ruach. For the law of the Ruach of life in Hamashiach Yahushua have made me free from the law of sin and death. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh.
It made you free from what?
Free from the law of sin and
So
death.
if you gain the victory through Yahushua HaMashiach, you would be free. That's why we read Genesis 3 and 22. Come on back. Let's talk about Smyrna. Revelation 2:8. Let's talk about Smyrna.
And unto the Malachim of the assembly of Smyrna write, these things saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know your works in tribulation and poverty, but you are rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Yahudim and are not, but are the synagogue of Hashem.
Now let's come on back. Come on back. What's the works? What's the tribulation and the poverty? Go ahead and give them a definition for the three.
Works is ergon, business, employment, that which anyone is occupied.
That which anyone is occupied.
Tribulation is ellipsis, oppressing together, pressure, oppression, affliction, tribulation, distress, straits, persecution.
Go ahead.
And poverty is takaya, it's beggary, the condition of one destitute of riches and abundance.
Not beggary. You out here, I ain't even gonna say it. No, I couldn't remember the word. That I wanted to use. You know what I'm saying? You're a mendicant if you always begging. You don't want to be a mendicant. So he said, I know your works. Well, what are those works? Well, let's look at 2 Timothy 3:16.
All scripture given by inspiration of Elohim and profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Elohim may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
Now we talk about what are good works. Y'all can mention some whenever you get ready. You know, well, I mean, good works is some of the stuff that's like, go to Titus. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Titus 3 and 7. But why you making all that noise, boy? You gonna keep on your face, gonna stay like that. You better stop it, boy. Don't nobody believe you. You in here sounding like a meerkat. Now you crying for real. Nah, I'm about to show you that's not talking about the Jews in the land. I'm about to show you that in a moment. Come on.
That being justified by his grace, we should be made heirs according to the hope of eternal life. A faithful saying, these things I will that you affirm constantly, that they which have believed in Elohim might be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable
Tell
unto
them
men.
what good works is, man.
Good is kalos, beautiful, handsome, excellent, eminent, choice, surpassing.
Do you some handsome works.
Honorable, conferring honor, affecting the mind agreeably, comforting, confirming, honest.
That's works.
Got good, valuable, virtuous.
Valuable and virtuous and honest work. So that can run a gambit of things. You know what I'm talking about? But it's more so about how you interact with other people and what you do to and for people. And here's another example of that. Matthew 5:44. Now the tribulation part is easy. He said, because he know what you suffering for the word's sake, because he's chosen you in the furnace of affliction. So that part is easy.
But I say unto you, love your enemies, group them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be the children of Yahweh, which is in Shamayim, where he maketh sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and send rain on the just and on the unjust.
That's good. I'm going to give you an example of good works real quickly and briefly as they come to my brain. Number one, the Shumanite woman, when she set out that bed and that candle for Elisha to come and sit down and lay down when he came past. Even with the Zidonian woman who gave the cakes to Elijah and brought him in his house during the time of the famine. Rahab hiding the spies. David giving a good piece of flesh and a flagon of wine to everybody. Or David doing right judgment and parsing out equally all the stuff to those who went to the battle and those who stayed behind. David sparing Saul. David entering into a covenant with Jonathan and holding on to it and not transgressing it. I'm forgetting people, man. You know, the Lord, you know, he said he went about doing good works, healing all those that were oppressed of the devil. So that's not necessarily referring to miracles, but you can look at the work that he did as it was the healing the man with the palsy, opening the eyes of the blind, feeding the 5,000. Say that again. Yeah, that's a good word. That's a good word. It definitely is. And she anointed him for his death. Shalom, Sister Jim. So, that's just a brief synopsis. I think you get the gist. Let's come on back to verse 9, Revelation 2. Read me poverty definition one more time, because I forgot.
Takaya, beggary, the condition of one destitute of riches and abundance.
Now it says one destitute of riches and abundance. Now that destitute of riches and abundance, he talking about literally. I told somebody asked, hey, who wants you to be poor in the Bible? And they was like, Jesus. He never told anybody to be poor. This is what he told you though. Luke 11:15. He didn't tell nobody to be poor. He didn't advocate for you to be rich or poor. What he advocated for you was to have perspective. Because the reality of life is, just like what Paul wrote in Timothy, man, sometimes riches will take you out. That doesn't take you somewhere else, which is why David told you if riches increase, don't set your heart on them. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, but some of them said he cast out devils through Beelzebub, but the chief of the devils, and others tempting him.
Sound like what I want. Yeah, come on, look at Luke chapter 12. Luke 12 and 13.
And one of the company said unto him, Master, speak to my brother that he divide the inheritance with me. And he said unto him, Man, who made me a judge or a divider over you? And he said unto them, Take heed and beware of covetousness.
Take heed and beware of what?
Covetousness. For a man's life consists not in the abundance of the things which he possesses.
And covetousness can lead is as idolatry. So what he talking about with covetousness is just unbridled and unrestrained lust. Read 1 Timothy 6 and 3, man. Because that junk a hard balance, because you got too many people who try to tell people that, oh, if you're going to be in the word, you're going to be poor. Then you got too many people that tell you you're supposed to have abundance and what they call it, sow a seed. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature, when the reality is, it's neither one of those. You know what I'm saying? It's, hey, some people might have it. Most people ain't. And that's just the reality of human existence. You know what I'm talking about? Not nobody wanting you to be X, Y, Z. But then, of course, I mentioned the other day, you know, it tell you that in Proverbs, labor not to be rich and cease from your own wisdom, because riches surely grow wings and fly away. So he already given you the skill to understand that's not what you should be working toward. It's a lot of people who going to labor to be rich with monetary things, but you're going to be poor in heaven. So what benefit did that do for you? You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, a lot of people look at it diverse, which ain't nothing wrong with it if you look at it in that context. You know, a man leave an inheritance for his children's children, but the inheritance that they were referring to is not akin to what we have now. Because they were talking about leaving that land to them people. Long as you did what Yahuwah told you to do, you could leave the land as an inheritance to your children after you. You know what I'm talking about? But if you sin, what inheritance could you give them? It wasn't talking about leaving around having life insurance. They didn't have any such thing. You know what I'm talking about? Or this, that, and the third. So no, they wasn't talking about generational wealth. Generational wealth is a new term in there. And truth be told, man, ain't nobody leaving no generational wealth for real. That's just a buzz term to sell niggas courses and things of that nature. Man, generational, nigga telling you leaving somebody if you owned a home and you died, that's generational wealth. Nigga, that ain't no wealth. Nigga, it's not benefiting multiple generations because granny left you a house. Once you say if you sold that house, what is that going to do? You can leverage it. But generational wealth is wealth. I don't even think niggas know the definition of wealth.
I look at that as you spending money from 1800s as a family.
That's what I remember when I was in high school because they defined those things. They called it old money. But you know, wealth by definition is an abundance of valuable possessions. You know what I'm talking about? So if somebody leaves you a house or left you a life insurance policy, that is not an abundance of possessions. That's singular. You got a little something. You ain't like the people like to say. Used to say they used to say this all the time about the athletes. The players are rich. The owners are wealthy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, most players are not wealthy. Now they define generational wealth to assets and resources such as money and investments and property passed down from one generation to the next, providing a financial foundation for future generations. It encompasses not only the transfer of financial assets, but the transfer of knowledge, skills, and social connections that can contribute to long-term financial security. So they make it very broad so that people can feel like, okay, they achieved that. You know what I'm saying? But like the Rockefeller family, they're living off money that somebody made before any of them were thought of. When you look at the Ford Motor Company, that Henry Ford family still own it. And you know who owned the Detroit Lions? His family. So his grandchildren and great-grandchildren, they living off something that he did. You know what I'm saying? Not, okay, I left you a house. Because technically, by that definition, okay, that's generational wealth. Say, what do people mean when they be like, my kid's going to be rich? I mean, because most people want their children to have riches or wealth. But the reality is, in the history of mankind, most people never had that. As forth as the general population. That's just not going to be attained. I mean, the reason being is because it's not designed. The societies are not designed for everybody to attain that. You know what I'm saying? They try to sell you that dream so that you could be a cog in the machine of the capitalistic system in which we presently dwell in. But that's a whole nother conversation. Does that mean some people will get rich? Sure, they will. But in general, the mass population, that's not going to happen. They don't want it. It's not designed for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's designed for, it's, it's the, what they call it, this is the battle of the fittest. But the reality is that they want it set up to siphon all the resources in the hands of few and then crumb out the rest. He said, I got caught up in that as well, thinking I was supposed to have life like others. Well, that's what they want to do, and that's why they gave you rap. I'm dead serious. That's why they gave you rap. Because now it's somebody who looks like you, who speaks like you, who dresses like you, that seems to have a modicum of wealth, and this clicks in your brain that, okay, I can have that too. And now you begin to do certain, and this pushes, again, this is how you end up being a cog in that machine. This pushes you to try to get into those particular industries where they can exploit you. Because now you hear too many of these rappers saying, man, we don't make no money. Because the reality of music contract is nothing but a loan. That junk is a payday loan. A payday loan that lets you travel and get on TV. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. I mean, travel and be on TV. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is it's a payday loan. And the crazy part is that you hear all these artists tell you how it's a payday loan and nobody listens. You look at the NFL, right? We didn't talk about this. It's been a while though. There are 32 NFL teams, 53 men on the roster. So let's look at that, right? 32 teams. It's not counting the practice squad. It's just the active roster. 53 men on the team. 32 men. That's 1,696 jobs. You round that up to 1,700. You know how many Division I schools it is, man? Well over 100. You know how many young men are on a roster? 100. You know what I'm talking about? So now you take that 100 times 100. This is really about 118 Division I schools, man. That's 10,000 people. You know what I'm talking about? That's not counting Division II, HBCUs, all this other stuff, and all of them are fighting. Not to mention veterans who done played and ain't on no team. Fighting for 1,700 jobs. Now you take the NBA, you got what, 30 teams? 15 men on the roster. That's 450 men.
Division I football. They say it's 134 NCAA football subdivision. Then you got 129 in the championship subdivision.
So that's 263 college football teams. 263. About 100 men a roster. Maybe more so in Division I than Division II. They don't call it Division I and II no more. You get the gist. What is the point is? You get pushed to a dream that maybe only the top 1% in each sport is actually going to make. All so you can be a cog in their machine. So you can sell my beverages if you're good enough, if you popular enough. Sell my shoes, sell my apparel. You know what I'm talking about? Sell my tickets. And when I'm done with you, I'm going to cast you away like an old toy. You know what I'm saying? Like straight like that. Be gone from me.
That's how many, I think, Division I basketball.
Yeah, now basketball, 364 Division I basketball team. 364. Either way it go is everybody's not going to make that. Everybody's not going to make that roster. And then it's political. So then that lets you know that they let in who they want to let in. And you've seen that with certain people. Because there was a time period where there was no rhyme or reason or excuse that Carmelo Anthony wasn't on somebody's roster for at all. They didn't want him on one. You know what I'm saying? Like if them people don't want you on in a league, you're not getting in. And it's not necessarily always a big old collusion call, what they call it, don't sign that nigga. It's just some stuff. Some of them owners, if they see 3-4 of them go in a particular direction, they going in it too.
Like any other job.
And yeah, them people do talk and they say, yeah, this dude's like this here, I don't fool with him. And it spreads. And now you got a bad reputation and nobody don't want to fool with you. Just like regular life. Because these people are billionaires, man, but it's set up that way. It is what it is. It's not saying that there's no shadow white man stopping you from doing anything, but the system is not set up for everyone to succeed at that level. It's just not set up for it. It never was. That's not just for our people, that's for white people too. It's not set up for if it's 300 and close to 400 some odd million people in the United States of America, it is not set up for everybody to be in the top 1%. It wouldn't be the top 1% if it was. It just is what it is. You say you played varsity quarterback, but if I was realistic, I would have focused on a trade instead of putting time into that. Oh, I understand you did it because that's what you enjoyed. You know what I'm talking about? You said a Chinese baseball player just got a contract. I don't know nothing about nobody getting no $768 million. Oh yeah, he got 700. Yeah, he got 7, and he got 10 years, $700 million. And they say most of his contract was deferred. So he finna get, you know about Bobby Bonilla Day? I forget the day of but he got a deferred contract from the Mets. This is wild. That's why I mentioned this, right? The Mets wanted to sign him, but the owner didn't have the bread up front to sign it. The reason being is he wanted to take the bread he had on hand and invest it with Bernie Madoff. You know who that is? That's the white man that got caught up with the Ponzi scheme. He was robbing all them rich white men. You know what I'm saying? The money that he didn't want to use to pay Bobby Bonilla, he got caught up in Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. Because I'm gonna tell you something about a lot of owners that most people don't realize. Most of them are not cash rich. Some of them are, but most are not. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at the Lakers owners, that's a family-run business. People ain't got no money like that. Like pretty much what they do is run the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? They don't got money like that. You take who own the Broncos, the Walton family, Walmart people, they don't have them problems. The Jewish dude that own the Eagles, they say how they get to sign their players, he give them their bread guaranteed. So he paying it up front. That makes it easier for them on the salary cap. The salary cap number they have in the NFL is based off, Shalom Hezekiah, man, it's set up off of, if I give you a $200 million contract, but I pay you $160 million up front, my cap number is only the $40 million. So that keep it low. And they say that's what the Eagle, he got cash though. So he like this here, get it. You know what I'm talking about? Every owner ain't like that. Oh, Shah Khan owned the Jaguars. He got rich off of bumpers, auto parts. You know what I'm saying? But that's how they do it though. Because everybody who owns a team is not necessarily just got mounds of cash sitting somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of them do businesses and money tied up.
So they didn't have much credit.
Yeah, a lot of them buy them teams with credit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them ain't dropping the $8 billion that it costs. They just got to prove. I know with the NFL, they have to show they have that kind of bread. Yeah, they just got to show they got it. So that's why when they say, oh, why they don't let a black man, you got to go in there and show you got that. Which is why you see ownership groups. But a lot of the NFL teams, they family owned. You know what I'm saying? Green Bay is the only NFL team. That team is publicly traded. You can buy stock in the Packers. No. They owned by the dude who has something to do with Microsoft, if I'm not mistaken. The original dude who owned it was an ex-football player, played with Jerry Jones, son Richardson. That cracker dead now. He racist as hell. But like the Giants family, they family done own the Giants from the time it was incepted. Same thing with the Steelers. Same thing with the dang, it was just in my brain and I forgot. I mentioned the Lions, you know what I'm talking about, and the Bears. Like that, the Hallis family has owned that franchise from the day it was founded. The Mara family has owned the Giants from the day it was founded. The Rooney family has owned the Steelers from the day it was founded. The Ford family has owned the Lions from the day it was founded. A lot of other teams done passed hands. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about family. Like somebody died, boom, the Broncos was like that. But when the dudes died, they sold it because his kids didn't want to run it. You know what I'm saying? The Chiefs are like that. The Hunt family owns it. You know what I'm saying? But they owned it from the day that the team was created. So that's what you looking at, like your mama, daddy died, and then you take on an asset that's worth $3-4 billion. You know what I'm saying? That's different than, oh, my daddy left me a house that's worth $400,000 and a life insurance policy. Yeah, you can make a move, but that's not what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Because guess who owned Ford Motor Company? We talked about this before. Man, them people never gonna sell you their companies, and they shouldn't. Nigga, get a company and sell it to another person real quick. If you were gonna sell it, at least sell it to somebody look like you. When Robert Johnson sold BET, you know who he sold it to? Viacom. You know who Viacom is? A major corporation. And you know what Viacom owns? MTV and VH1 and all that there. And that's why you see all those video channels go in the direction that they did, because BET was different when he owned it. You know what I'm saying? Russell Simmons sold Def Jam to Universal. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z them sold Rockaware to some Russians. They were stupid as hell to buy it, so I can't be mad at him. You know what I'm talking about? He made a killing. But them Russians were stupid as hell to buy that. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, now Oprah paid. Oprah would have that, but Oprah ain't got no kids. You know what I'm talking about? Oprah ain't got no kids. She ain't got no kids, no grants. She ain't never got to worry about that. Now, Elon Musk got a lot of churn. But see, people don't talk about Elon Musk being a baby daddy like Nick Cannon. Elon Musk worse than Nick Cannon. And according to Elon Musk's family, he don't even take care of his kids. When I say take care of him, he don't see him, he don't talk to him, he don't do nothing for him other than financial. But ain't nobody running around screaming about him because they don't care. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by how a society and a system is set up. But that's a power dynamic. Yeah, you see homeowners doing it right now, going to BlackRock-owned companies. Yeah. You know, that's y'all know about that, because that's how America is. Yeah, DMX got 15 children by 9 women. Shoot, he was reckless before he got famous, so he would have had 15 children by 9 women, famous or not. You look disturbed. You ain't know that? Yeah, man. Shoot, I'm surprised you should have just known that, because DMX is a wild guy. What we have with it?
1 Timothy 6:3.
Go ahead.
If any man teach otherwise, and consent not to wholesome words, the words of our Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach, to the doctrine which is according to godliness, he is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words, whereof come envy, strife, railings, evil surmisings, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds, destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw yourself.
He said, if you think increasing monetarily or possession-wise is godliness, that man say you destitute of the truth and you ought to leave him alone. Go ahead.
For godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, it is certain we can carry nothing out.
And that's the perspective. That's it. But listen what he takes.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
And what else?
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
And that goes back to Proverbs 30, when he say, give me not riches nor poverty, but food convenient for me. Lest I be rich and I say, who is Yahuwah? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. That's the point. It's not about, oh, you can't be rich or be poor. He already know what you gonna do. A lot of niggas get some money. God, where and who? Because because that's what AJ Brown was. Man, a lot of niggas want to be rich till you get rich and you find out it opens you up to things that you weren't able to do, and now you able to do them, and now you don't care about God no more. And people don't never want to believe that's them till it's them. That's all. Man, that man know what he be doing with people, man. He give you just what you need. You know what I'm talking about? Because some people, boy, they get a little bit more, boy. It's over with. Yeah, it's over with. They gonna be wild. Come on, I think it's supposed to rain today. We got to get ready. Go ahead.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Oh, good. We don't need that. Come on back to Revelation 2:9.
I know your works and tribulation and poverty, but you are rich. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Yahudim and are not, but are the synagogue of Hashatan.
Go ahead and tell them what a Yahudim is.
Eodios, that is Jewish, belonging to the Jewish nation. Jewish as aspects to birth, origin, and religion, belonging to Yehuda.
Now, Romans 2:21 or 22, we read it the other day. Now, this is not talking about them people over there. It's easy to say that because that's what people want it to be. But remember, he's writing to an assembly in that time. So he talking to them. So it wouldn't be something that we could classify and make it now because he's saying, oh, them people say they Yahudim, but they not. Remember what he told the woman at the well? Read that for him. John 4:24, we read that. John 4:20.
Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Thou shalt say unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour come, when you shall neither worship in this mountain, nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Abba. You worship you know not what.
You worship you know not what.
We know what we worship.
For
salvation is of the Yahudim.
He said, we know what we worship. Now, of course, he's talking to a Samaritan woman here. Now, you can read aspects in Esther where it say people converted to becoming Jews. That's why one of them mentioned it was a religion. But let's go to Romans 2. And what, 21?
You therefore which teach another, teach you not yourself.
Double now, 24.
For the name of Elohim is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as it is written. Circumcision truly profit if you keep the law, but if you be a breaker of the law, your circumcision is made uncircumcision.
Made uncircumcision.
Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision? It shall not uncircumcision, which is by nature, if it fulfill the law, judge you, who by the letter of circumcision do transgress the law. For he is not a Yahudim, which is one.
He is not a Yahudim that is one what?
Outwardly,
but
neither that of circumcision, which is outward in the flesh, but he is a Yahudim
that is one
inwardly. And circumcision is of the heart and the ruach, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of Elohim.
That's it. That's right, Omar. Now remember, Romans 9 say what? All Yasharal is not of Yasharal. The children of the promise are counted for the seed. So when you come over here to Isaiah 65 and 11 is going to give you a little bit more insight into why he said a. Because he's talking about people who are in it, and he say the devil will cast some of you in tribulation. Remember in John 16, he say, hey man, there were people who will kill you and put you out of the synagogue and think that they doing Elohim service. Them was Jews he was talking about going to be doing this. Because at the end of the day, who grabbed him and took him to Pilate? It wasn't no strangers. Go ahead.
But you are they that forsake Yahuwah, that forget my Kadash mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering.
He said, you those that for do what?
Forsake Yahuwah, that forget.
So these are people who abandon Yahuwah.
That prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number.
They're making a drink offering, they making it unto their gods, going back to what we were talking about with Nicolaites. You like them to offer the devils and be freaky. Go ahead.
Therefore, will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter.
When I called,
you did not answer.
When I spake,
you did not hear.
But did evil
for my eyes,
and chose
that wherein I delighted not.
Therefore,
thus saith Yahuwah Elohim,
behold,
my servant shall eat,
but you will be what?
Hungry.
And behold,
my servant shall drink,
but you will be what?
Thirsty.
Behold,
my servant shall rejoice,
but you will what?
Shall be ashamed.
What's happening, homie? Go ahead.
Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart,
but you shall cry for
sorrow of heart. Shall howl for vexation of ruach,
and you shall leave your name for what?
Curse unto
you
my
will
chosen.
Leave your name for what?
For a curse unto my chosen.
For Yahuwah Elohim
shall slay you and call his servants by another name.
Go ahead.
That he who Baruch himself in the earth shall Baruch himself in the Elohim of truth. He that swear in the earth shall swear by the Elohim of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, because they are hid from my eyes.
And then also this takes you to back to the conversation of the wheat and the tares. They look the same, but they not the same, because they profess in the faith, or as it says in Titus, they profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being disobedient and abominable. So he said that say that they're Jews and they're not. And there's another, and when it said in Revelation 3:9, he talk about how he'll make them come bow down to you so that you could know that he loved you. And he said that about what he would do to those who would persecute the saints. Because at the end of the day, when it go down, the greatest persecution that you're going to receive is not going to be from outsiders. It's going to be from insiders. Because let's just keep it a buck. The average person who don't believe in the word of Yahuwah don't care nothing about what people in the word doing. They don't envy you. They're not jealous of you. They don't care about none of that. They only going to persecute you when what you doing hinders their own personal interest. Shalom, Brother Marcus. And that's it. But when you talk about, when you go read Psalms 55 and he say, oh, if I could have hid myself if it was an enemy, he said, but it was my equal, my companion. We walked in, man, when you look at the word every time when the righteous were persecuted, man, it was always somebody sitting in there smiling. Or you could read Jeremiah 7. He said they've been delivered in this house. He said you've been delivered to worship Baal and commit adultery and do this here. No, you ain't been delivered to do that. So when he talking about those that are Jews and are not, he ain't talking about some mythical people that would come around 1,400 years later, talking about we Jews. He talking about them same people who was in that synagogue in Smyrna sitting in there with them. Yeah, they sitting in there with you. Lying. You know what I'm talking about? But that's because most Israelites in the world don't want to actually deal with the fact that you're going to get more persecution from people who profess to love God than people who don't. Amos tell you that they hate him that rebuke in the gate. Man, Pilate them didn't care what the Lord had going on. Only thing he was concerned with, man, don't tell Caesar this junk because that's going to cause problems for me. He said, man, y'all need to judge him according to your own law. What y'all bringing this to me for? They didn't care. This is the difference. We talked about this 1,000 times. When you go look back at antiquity, them people did not care about the religious worship of other people. Them people worship their own gods, and that's what they cared about. Remember what it said in Acts 16. He is teaching things not lawful for us to do, seeing that we are Romans. These people had their own gods. They did their own thing. It's not like the 21st century. That's right. Paul was persecuting the early church itself. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't no outsider thing. That was people inside. You know why people inside would do it? Because they would perceive that they have more understanding of the word to say that this person is blaspheming or doing X, Y, Z. You can't look at them people. We talked about this before, man. And even when you get into further in antiquity, these people had a god for each city they lived in. These people did not classify themselves according to race or nationality. They classified themselves based off the god that they worship. How do we know that? When we were looking at Baal Peor, it let you know who them people was. Because everybody didn't worship Baal Peor. Baal Peor was a specific god to the city of Mount Peor. You go outside of Mount Peor, ain't nobody worshiping Baal Peor over here. They worshiping another god. When you got into Israel, you know, oh, okay, these people worship Yahuwah. Remember when Jonah was on the boat? They told him, hey, man, you need to get up and call on your God like we doing. So it's different. It's not the same. So that's not a conversation he going to be having with them so you can feel justified in saying, oh, these people over here lying. No, absolutely not. Then again, we read that because what is a Yahudim? One circumcised in the heart. So when he said, oh, they say they Yahudim and are not. Oh, them boys ain't, they haven't circumcised themselves to Yahuwah. Them boys living sour. 2 and 10 Revelation, man. We get on off here. Man. Hey, why are you talking?
Say, fear none of those things which you shall suffer.
You being rude.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that you may be tried. You shall have tribulation 10 days. Be you faithful unto death.
So that's what you ascertained. Some say it was groups of other nations using the Jews' doctrine and belief, calling themselves Jews. But I mean, even when we look at Paul, when we look at what's going on in Pergamos, they were keeping the doctrine of Balaam. I bet you they were professing to be Jews, but guess what? They weren't. They weren't. Not in heart, because they keeping the doctrine of Nicolaitans. Go ahead.
Say, be you faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Ruach say unto the assemblies. He that overcomes shall not be hurt of the second death.
So if you gain victory, Isaiah 25:9, the lake where the worm dies not, and the fire shall not be quenched, will have no effect, rhyme, and reason on you. Come on with it.
And it shall be said in that day, lo, this is our Elohim. We have waited for him. He will save us. This is Yahuwah. We have waited for him.
Make it 25 at 8.
He will swallow up death and victory. And Yahuwah Elohim will wipe away tears from off all faces. And the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth. For Yahuwah has spoken it.
Now go to Isaiah 33 and 14.
Sinners in Zion are afraid. Fearfulness have surprised the hypocrites. Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burning?
That's not what we want, but go ahead.
He that walk righteously and speak uprightly.
There it is.
He that despise the gain of oppressions, that shake his hands from holding of bribes, that stop his ears from the hearing of blood, and shut his eyes from seeing evil. He shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks. Bread shall be given him, his waters shored. Your eyes shall see the king in his beauty. They shall behold the land that is very far off. Your heart shall meditate. Terror. Where is the scribe? Where is the receiver?
That's good. So guess what that means? He that gained victory won't be touched by the second death. Why? Because that Ruach HaKodesh would be sitting on him and he would be dwelling on him, and death would be swallowed up in victory. He would have right to the tree of life, and therefore he would be free from the law of sin and death. But hallelujah for Yahushua the word. I appreciate y'all time this evening. Bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. The who are willing, we'll be back at it on Wednesday. We need to get out of here. Those skies getting dark. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. I bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. I love y'all. And yeah, till the next time. Yes, sir. So hold it down, my G. Bye.